Mao Zedong was born in 1893 in Shaoshan, a small village in Hunan province. His father was a wealthy farmer, but Mao was drawn more to books than to the fields. He read Chinese classics, was inspired by rebellious heroes in literature, and later turned to Western thinkers, especially Karl Marx. By the early 20th century, China was in chaos. The Qing dynasty had fallen, and the country was carved up by foreign powers. Warlords ruled provinces like kings, and poverty crushed the people. Mao, watching this decay, believed the system had to be overthrown entirely, not reformed. He became politically active during the May 4th movement in 1919, a nationalist and anti-imperialist uprising triggered by China's poor treatment at the Versailles Treaty. It was here that Mao discovered Marxism, which promised a classless society built by revolution. In 1921, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, was formed in Shanghai, with Mao as one of its founding members. Inspired by the Russian Bolsheviks, the CCP sought to organize workers and peasants to overthrow the ruling elite. At first, the communists allied with the Kuomintang, KMT, led by Sun Yat-sen and later Chiang Kai-shek, to fight against warlords and foreign imperialists. However, this alliance was uneasy. In 1927, Chiang betrayed the communists. In what became known as the Shanghai Massacre, thousands of communists were killed. Mao survived and fled to the countryside. It was there that he found his true power base, not in the cities, but among the peasants. While the CCP was nearly wiped out in the cities, Mao began building rural bases in the mountains of Jiangxi. He reorganized society, redistributed land, and formed the Red Army, made up of peasants. His ideas went against orthodox Marxism, which prioritized industrial workers, but they worked in China. In 1934, under pressure from the Nationalist Army, Mao and the Red Army began the Long March, a grueling 6,000-mile retreat to the north. It took a year, and of the 86,000 who started, fewer than 10,000 finished. But the march was a turning point. It proved Mao's leadership and became a legend that unified the communists. By the time they reached Yan'an in northern China, Mao was the undisputed leader of the CCP. In 1937, China was invaded by Japan, which committed horrific atrocities like the rape of Nanjing. The communists and the nationalists formed a shaky Second United Front to resist the invasion. While the KMT fought the Japanese in open battles and lost territory, Mao's forces grew in the countryside. They fought guerrilla wars, won the support of peasants, and expanded their base areas. Mao also developed his revolutionary theory, Protracted People's War, which argued that the revolution would be long and rooted in the masses. When Japan surrendered in 1945, the stage was set for a final showdown between the CCP and KMT. The Chinese Civil War erupted in full after World War II. The United States backed Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists, while the Soviets gave limited aid to Mao. But despite American support, the KMT lost ground rapidly. Corruption and mismanagement plagued the nationalists. Meanwhile, Mao's land reform policies gave land to the poor, gaining him massive support. His Red Army, now renamed the People's Liberation Army, grew stronger and more disciplined. By 1949, Mao's forces captured major cities, including Beijing and Shanghai. Chiang Kai-shek fled to the island of Taiwan, taking the remnants of his government with him. On October 1, 1949, Mao stood atop Tiananmen Gate and declared the founding of the People's Republic of China. The revolution was complete. Centuries of imperial rule and decades of civil war had ended. After victory, Mao began transforming China. Land was redistributed, landlords were executed or imprisoned, industries were nationalized, and the economy was restructured. He launched the Great Leap Forward, 1958-1962, to modernize agriculture and industry, but it failed catastrophically, leading to a famine that killed millions. In 1966, Mao initiated the Cultural Revolution, a violent purge of counter-revolutionaries, intellectuals, and old customs. Chaos erupted as students, called Red Guards, attacked teachers, officials, and even family members. By the time Mao died in 1976, he had become both a hero and a tyrant in the eyes of many. He had unified China and ended foreign domination, but at a tremendous human cost. Mao Zedong's revolution changed China forever. He led a peasant-based movement that overthrew an ancient system and resisted foreign domination. But his vision also led to suffering and political purges. Today, his portrait still hangs in Tiananmen Square, a symbol of both revolution and controversy. Mao remains one of the most influential and divisive figures in modern history.